Okay, this is going to be hard to see. This is the pan and tilt mechanism. A lot of it of my own making. This was printed. This was printed. But figuring out to make this part and this part together was my making. The bottom part just wasn't substantial enough. Anyway, today I drilled a hole in this corner for the little, what I call a board camera. I'm not sure what we call them nowadays. This is going to be hard to see. So what I did is I drilled around 2 round holes in there, and then I used a little jeweler's file. Well, several different jeweler's files. One of the best ones was the triangular one. They're real small jeweler's files. Let me see if maybe that'll help a little bit. Yeah, okay. And so I kind of made that hole square. But you see, the problem is I didn't have much room to play with, because on the back side right here is where a servo is mounted, and here's the pivot point for the servo. And that's what makes this mechanism up here pan and tilt. Here's one of the screws, and here's screwing the servo into blocks in the carbon 3D printed plastic. Right here's a block, and down here in the bottom's a block that the servo screws to in this direction. So I just didn't have much room right up in here at all. So like I said, I drilled 2 holes, and then I used just a assortment of little jewelers files to make that hole square, because the way my camera is, I'm using a Josh Bardwell RunCam Phoenix Josh Bardwell edition, Phoenix 2, and you see its connectors right up here. I'm only using the hot ground and signal out of it. I'm not using the smart audio on this camera. Yes, this camera actually can be controlled through these wires, but I'm not using them at all. I just wrapped them up in a little shrink tubing over them and tightened it down with a little heat, just to keep those available for the future. But so this was the 3 wires I'm using. So if I put this in that little slot, I'm going to tell you, turning those 2 little bitty round holes into square holes takes a little bit more time than I really thought it would. But I got lucky for a change. Look at this. This goes right in there. And there it is from the back. The little white connector. I don't have no wiggle room right to left. It goes right in there. Whoops. Then we'll run the wires down inside the fuselage. Oops. We'll probably fix them there someplace. But then I'm just going to hot glue that camera. It is in the corner. It's much smaller than the mount. So I'm just going to hot glue that right in there. Get it straight, of course. And that'll be that. And then the RunCam 2 4K will go on top. Let's see. I'm going to do it something like this right here, so that I can run a tie wrap right through here all the way around it, and another tie wrap right here all the way around it, missing the buttons that control it and stuff. But that will be the pan and tilt assembly, the little RunCam Phoenix 2 Josh Bardwell edition FPV camera, sending back video to my ground station and me, whatever, goggles, whatever. And then the 4K camera on top, taking 4K video of the flight for use after the flight. Technically, I can take the output of this camera into the video transmitter. I played with that a little bit. I just didn't like the way they reacted with each other electrically. Here, let me turn that off now that I no longer need that light. There you go. So that's, whoops. Until that's glued, that's going to be a pain in the butt. So that's the pan portion of the pan. And, oops, that's the tilt portion, I guess. This would be the pan portion of the pan and tilt assembly. A little hot glue, a couple of tie wraps. That'll be pretty much ready. There's two little wings and a back plate that'll be mounted on this and glued on at the time it's affixed to the fuselage, so that it's fixed in the fuselage in the correct little angles. Small adjustments. Not much on the mini Talon today. I've got a video transmitter that's coming in Friday, and I've kind of stalled out here. Need to get that in, see how much it weighs for sure, and see where I want to mount it. Still holding off gluing the two halves of the mini Talon together of the fuselage, because I'm still trying to figure out where the video transmitter and the telemetry transceiver will be mounted. I did get the perimeters for the mission planner for the flying wheel moved to the ground station notebook computer. I did get some missions saved to notebook computer. I've got to dig out my checklists for packing up, checklists for taking things out of the field. Got to get those together, make a dry run on that tomorrow, and I'll probably be flying one day the rest of this week. Not probably, I know I will be. All right, a little short one tonight. Was doing a lot of other things today outside of the helm. Have a good one. I almost forgot one of the most important parts. I've got the back of the decking for the front of the mini Talon there, and the two little pieces that complete this little deck part, in addition to the pan and tilt mechanism and two cameras in the wire. Comes in right in 205 grams. That's pretty good in my humble opinion for what's on there. I think I can live with that. I like it. Thanks again.